Hello and welcome to Dingoes 8 My Podcast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
I'm Justin.
This week we're talking about the episode, The Initiative. This episode originally aired November 16th, 1999. In this episode, Riley and a couple of friends, Forrest and Graham, watch Buffy as she manages to make a mess of the soda machine and the yogurt machine in the cafeteria.
So sad.
They comment on what a catch she is and how interested they all are, but Riley is reluctant to join in. Giles and Xander discover the commando guys are human and that their help will not be needed. Again.
Nah.
Buffy arrives, and while Giles tells her to patrol, she says she's going to a party with Willow to hopefully cheer her up. Yeah. Spike, having been knocked out by a taser at the beginning of the previous episode, wakes up in a facility where various types of demons are held captive behind electrically charged barriers. A packet of blood drops from the ceiling into Spike's cell, but before he drinks it, a vampire in the next cell, Tom, captured in The Freshman, warns him that the doctors starve the vampires and then feed them drugged blood before doing experiments on them. Spike is quick to blame the Slayer for his misfortune.
Because the Slayer has that much money.
Apparently.
Of course.
Apparently Buffy inherited like $500 million.
And once goes ahead, gets the government, and gets a whole bunch of things to actually get to do.
I like how this is logical reasoning, thinking that somehow.
It's so good. Spike is fantastic. In class, Willow asks about Oz, but Riley says he dropped out. After Willow tries to tell him that Oz will return, Professor Walsh informs her that he won't be back to her class, whereupon Willow abruptly leaves, saddened. Buffy approaches the professor and tells her off, prompting Walsh to comment to Riley that she likes her. Forrest asks Parker about Buffy, and when Parker vulgarly brags about having sex with her, Riley punches him. Riley then realizes he likes Buffy. He visits Willow and asks her advice in wooing Buffy. Willow, still emotionally distressed, questions his motives, but eventually relents, listing some of Buffy's likes and interests. Specifically cheese.
She likes cheese.
Cheese?
Spike lies on the floor of his cell, pretending to have drunk the drugged blood. And when the doctors come in to get him, he attacks. He escapes the initiative and returns to Harmony's lair, telling her that he is back for good. Then he immediately leaves to kill the Slayer.
Because of course.
Xander later discovers Harmony crying, burning some of Spike's things, including a Sex Pistols album. The two get into an inept slap fight and then mutually agree to stop.
The most epic fight ever seen in Buffy.
So apparently this vampire doesn't know how to fight.
No, it's Harmony. Harmony doesn't know how to do shit.
Yeah,
she doesn't know how to be a vampire.
It's great. I love how she has Xander in a headlock and he's like, stop it. It's so good.
I was just really hoping that they do the traditional.
They do.
They did.
They basically did.
It was a basic slap fight.
Yeah, it's great. An event mutually agree to stop. Harmony lets Xander know that Spike is back. At the party, Willow tries to help Riley flirt with Buffy, but his attempts are thwarted when Xander arrives to inform Buffy that Spike has returned. Riley is also called away. He and Forrest break away from the party, and after passing through several electronic checkpoints, they go to a hidden elevator to go down a hidden elevator to an underground facility where Spike had been held. The operations head, Professor Walsh, informs them that Hostile 17, Spike, has escaped, and the guys suit up. Riley gives orders to 3 teams and sends out Oliver, Sunnydale to find Spike. Riley's team spots Buffy sitting on a bench. Riley refuses to allow the team to use her as bait and goes to get rid of her. Each unaware of the other's secret identity, Riley and Buffy try to send each other out of harm's way.
Well, I'm not leaving if you're staying here. Or I'm not leaving if you're not leaving.
Okay, it's shenanigans.
It's super good. Meanwhile, Spike has found Buffy's dorm through the school computer system. Willow, moping in her room, hears a knock at the door and invites the person in without thinking. Spike swaggers into the room and attempts to bite Willow, but is stopped by an intense pain in his head after a calm short dialogue with multiple metaphorical references to impotence. Willow hits him with a lamp and runs out just as Riley and his friends cut the power and then work their way up to the dorm room. They capture Spike, but when they consider whether to take Willow or not, Spike breaks free. Buffy arrives and fights Riley and his friends, while Spike manages to escape through a window. Unable to make out the identity of the attacker, Riley orders them to retreat. Professor Walsh is not happy with what happened or with Riley's report on the event. It is revealed that Spike cannot harm any living being without feeling pain in his head thanks to an implant that they placed there. Riley catches up with Buffy and they talk. Buffy tells him that he is a little peculiar, a term used by Riley before he realized he liked Buffy, and he responds that he can live with that. And that was the initiative.
Cheese?
Riley is good.
Best awkward moments ever.
It is. So what did you all think of this episode?
Well, it was enjoyable seeing how... I guess this guy has a bit of a secret identity. It kind of works out a little bit in that sort of sense. I wonder how long he'll last.
Riley?
Yeah.
He'll be around for a little while.
Okay.
He's not, they're not going to get rid of him in, 3 episodes or something.
Okay. I mean, he's part of the secret organization of sorts, so,
Yes.
I can't imagine it going down to 3 episodes.
Cleverly named the initiative.
Yes.
Well, as it is, he's decently somewhat of a main character, decently introduced within the story, part of the main initiative of the whole big plot within the story. He has a decent set of armor to kind of survive throughout the Buffy universe, so he'll probably be sticking around for a bit.
Yes, and he obviously is a part of the initiative, so he knows about, the demons and all that shit.
He knows how to defend himself.
Yes, he isn't useless.
And yet he doesn't know about the Slayer.
That's a very interesting point.
It is.
With all the particular
Yeah.
stuff with demons and whatnot, nobody bothered to pick up a book about the Slayer. But then, of course, it's a bit of a case of it's kind of only a thing that the Watchers so far have kind of really known about.
Well,
aside from a couple specific demons knowing that that's sort of the big catalyst of what would stop them.
it's also possible that he knows that, a Slayer exists, but he doesn't know it's Buffy.
True. True.
Because, if you were to, pick who would be a vampire killer, you wouldn't pick Sarah Michelle Gellar, because she's tiny. She doesn't exactly fit the mold of what you'd expect a demon hunter to look like.
And with how klutzy she was at the very beginning of the episode, you wouldn't assume that about her immediately.
Yeah, right? I can kind of be like, no. I could see him going, it's not Buffy.
Yeah.
Buffy's a klutz, and she's, 5'2".
She's peculiar.
Yes. So, moving on to international titles. So, in German, Brazilian Portuguese, and Latin American and Spain Spanish, it's basically just the initiative.
Because, of course.
However, in French, the French win big time. Schemes in the basement.
Oh my god. It sounds terrible. We take it out of context.
It's so good. Because it's technically true.
Sure.
They technically are scheming in the basement. But it tells you nothing about the episode.
No.
It's do they mean this one particular basement? Is there a specific basement room that the vamps are going to? What do you mean? And then you watch the episode, it's oh, okay.
It's technically correct.
Yeah.
The best kind of correct.
Okay then.
We get upgraded to grade 37?
So, for music in this episode, the band Dead Star has a song Lights Go Down. 4-Star Mary has Fate. Jake Lee Rao, I think that's how I pronounce the last name. Welcome. Moby, Body Rock, That Dog, Never Say Never, and Christoph Beck with the original score. So, the quote I pulled for this episode is from Xander. No studying? Damn. You'll tell me, is I have to eat jelly donuts or sleep with a supermodel to get things done around here? I ask you, how much can one man give?
Yes, all the work that Xander and Giles need to do to figure out that humans are doing specific things.
I kind of question, Giles being okay, Buffy, go fight humans. Because,
Wasn't that kind of a no-no?
she's a Slayer and she would murder them really easily.
Nah.
But it's necessary for the plot.
Nah.
So,
They're messing around with things.
they are messing around with things. So, where do you all think the initiative is going?
Doing some experiments with some demons and vampires and stuff.
They
I think
definitely are.
I think it's kind of a question of, do they really understand that it's demons and vampires that they're kind of dealing with? Or just kind of specific peoples that have these specific abilities?
Sure, they think they're demons.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're aware that they're demons.
I mean, they wouldn't go after some other human person. Would they?
But then it also kind of leads to the question, how far does that knowledge kind of go? Is it around the case of the Watchers, or is it a little less, in which case they probably might go down the road of, oh hey, we'll go and look at this thing, and most likely bring about the apocalypse.
I'm just going to say one thing, that at the end of the season, Frankenstein.
Another Frankenstein?
Because of course, we need a bloody Frankenstein monster again.
We're getting Frankenstein again.
Oh boy.
And it's going to be 10 on 10.
Okay.
Oh, even better than the last time.
I'm sure it's better than last time.
Well,
it
I
only
suppose.
goes up from here, right?
It'll be good. His name's Adam. Can you get the subtle reference?
Sure.
Subtle as a sledgehammer. So, if neither of you have anything left to add, the next episode we'll be talking about is Pangs. It's Thanksgiving time!
Supposed yay.
In this episode, Buffy attempts to put together a perfect Thanksgiving. Xander accidentally releases a Native American vengeance spirit, and Angel secretly comes to Sunnydale to protect Buffy from said spirit.
Oh boy.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
And
it's Thanksgiving!
Yay!
Buffy's gonna make Thanksgiving dinner.
Yay.
It's gonna be 10 on 10 good.
It's gonna be marvelous, and everything's going to get in the way. It's gonna drive everybody crazy.
It's going to be a perfect Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong will happen.
Of course not. And Spike will show up.
Because of course he will.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Oh, okay. So the scene, I forgot about it before, but the scene in this episode where Spike attacks Willow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the initial plan there, because when they cut from the attack to outside in the hallway, that was where the commercial break went.
Yeah.
So the idea was to make, from the writers and everyone, was to make people think that they'd actually killed Willow.
Ooh.
Just when they cut to the commercial break?
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit!
Well, because Oz just left.
Yeah.
And they've already killed other people, so the fuck, why wouldn't they kill Willow?
Well, let's see. Checking Willow's popularity with just about everybody. Oh.
It's not... Let me just say this one time. A character's popularity will not stop Joss Whedon from killing them.
Oh, that's true. Joss Whedon sort of looks like it. It's like, perfect, let's do it!
David, watch Firefly sometime.
Yeah, that's something I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And then watch Serenity. And have your heart break in half.
I don't think it can break into any more pieces.
Oh, yes it can. Anyway, that will be next time. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.